Welcome back to Urban Traditionalists. I thought I would do a video today on my why. Why do all of this? A lot of people do ask me that, friends and family. They're like, why go to all that effort when you can just go to the grocery store and pick up whatever you need whenever you need it? You know, we don't really live in a society where we have to squirrel away for the winter like we used to. We get our produce all year long from other places like Mexico and California specifically for our region. And why go to all that effort? And so I wanted to talk about that today. This video is not going to get posted in real time. I'm actually filming this in November 2021, and I've kind of been bulk filming over the summer, fall, and what have you, so that I can consistently post come the next year. And there's something really significant going on right now in our province, which actually is my why. And so I thought I'd talk about that because it's super relevant right now. And I may actually post this video in the summer or harvest time of 2022, because that's when you need to actually be taking note and stock and getting stuff like this ready. There is some construction outside. We have some landscapers and dump trucks right now. So if you hear that in the background, that's what that is. Okay, so it's November right now. We do experience flooding in our region in the spring runoffs. We have a lot of rivers and mountains, and of course all that water is going to find the lowest center of gravity and usually ends up in our valley. So we do flood in the spring, and that is something that we're used to. But flooding in the winter is not normal for us. And there was recently a very significant weather event that actually caused some major flooding in some low-lying regions, actually southwest of us. And due to all that flooding and weather events, it actually knocked out all the major highways leading into our region. This is like literally nothing I would ever expect to happen. When you kind of think through like disasters and like, what should you prepare for? You think of power outages, or you think of like, I don't know, what is your region experience? We get a lot of forest fires here. So, I just never imagined an event that would knock out every major road. So we essentially have, if my brain was remembering correctly, we have like 4 major highways, 3 in particular, that connect us to essentially the supply chain. And one of those highways in particular is actually like the most utilized highway in our region for the entirety of the province, and actually much of even going east. And that road has received such significant damage that 3 of its bridges are completely knocked out. We're talking like major 4-lane highway bridges. Completely destroyed. There's about 3 to 4 other different sections on this highway that have had such significant mudslides that they're not even sure what the condition of the road is underneath. So they're actually predicting like months long repair wait, and that's significant. Like I said, there are other highways that reach us, and they are looking to open one of the highways hopefully by the end of this week. But right now, we literally have no supply trucks coming into our region. We have some trying to reach us from the east, which is good. But like, we're essentially cut off from the main supply chain of quote unquote everything. It really kind of struck me. It really hit me hard. Not because I'm worried, not because I'm fearful, but it just goes to show that the unexpected should always, maybe like not always feared, but the unexpected should be something that you think about. And I wouldn't advise catastrophizing every situation and trying to work your way out of it in your mind so that when that time comes you're prepared, because that never works. But that mind of preparedness should be something that we all have. So it's my habit that in times of plenty, you accumulate and you store and you use that plenty in times of little. And it's funny that we actually have to relearn this, because this is the way that humanity has survived for thousands and thousands of years. And it's only just recently that we have not been used to those ways. So I do it because I actually love it. Like I love I'm not a farmer yet. I want to be, but I utilize my local farms when they have a lot. And when they have a lot, I get it for a good price, and then I preserve it, which means I'm saving money, and we have plenty when there is little. So let me kind of go back to our current situation. Because of COVID, everyone knows that like toilet paper and water was like drowned out of the stores immediately, which still baffles my mind that that's what people went for, but whatever, that's in the past. But that put a lot of fear in people of like, oh, like stores can empty quick. So when our city heard that we essentially had lost our major highways for maybe the foreseeable future, our grocery stores emptied in a day. Not even a day, by the end of the day. Not every section, but the majority of them. The produce section has been completely eliminated. The only thing left was garlic and onions, which are pretty tasty, and I think that's probably what I would buy. But literally, like, depleted. I drove around to like every major grocery store over the last couple of days just to like suss out the situation. And like, obviously I'm not buying stuff because I've preserved stuff. I don't need to buy stuff. We'll be fine. And I can leave it there for people who need it. But I went to look, and I'm actually getting like chills up my spine thinking about this. But like the produce section of 4 major grocery stores were completely eliminated. And those are just the ones that I went to. And there were pictures on social media of the other grocery stores in our area also completely eliminated. So we're talking no produce. The frozen produce was being eliminated. So it was about 50% gone in every major grocery store. I'm talking about like, if you're Canadian, you'll know, but like Superstore, Costco, Save On Foods, Walmart. Superstore would be the equivalent of like a Fred Meyer in the United States. So these major grocery stores are like literally have no produce. The bread section completely eliminated. The egg section 90% gone when I went, and I'll get to that in a minute. Dairy section 80 to 90% gone. What else? The meat section, we're literally talking 90 to 100% eliminated. It's Friday morning right now. These weather events started on Sunday. Monday is when it really hit. We found out essentially Tuesday morning that our highways were shut down. By Tuesday, at the end of the day, grocery stores were at this capacity, this eliminated capacity. I literally went to a couple grocery stores on Tuesday just to find out what it was like. I went again on Wednesday. I went again on Thursday just to look. So literally, like by the end of the day, Tuesday, grocery store shelves were empty. Now, ironically, my husband and I went on the weekend on Saturday or Thursday or whatever it was prior to this event, and we actually just topped up a couple things because we're like, oh, we're getting low on that, we're getting low on this, and I'm so happy we did because as of Tuesday, it was all gone. So there's a lot of like smack talk going on right now about people who hoard and people who are greedy and the selfishness of people. And yes, that is happening, but what's happening more than that is people just have no clue. They're just not prepared. And an example I'll use for that is your gas tank. When do you fill up your gas tank? I usually am in the habit of filling up every paycheck. It's just my habit, and the way how much I operate my car is usually around a quarter of a tank left by my paycheck. So I'm always topping up around a quarter of a tank. I used to top up every half tank because I drove less, but I'm driving more now. Where most people or lots of people will wait till the gas light comes on. And even in that, they'll like be driving home at the end of the day and the gas light goes on and they're like, oh, I'll get gas in the morning. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh crap, I have to get gas. And that's actually the mentality we have around everything, is that we'll get it when we need it and it will be there when we need it. So where are you in that? When do you fill up your gas tank? When do you buy groceries? And I have some friends who've been talking to me and they're like, yeah, like we had one roll of toilet paper left and, you know, my husband's trying to go buy toilet paper and it's not anywhere right now again. Or like, yeah, we had no groceries in the house and I don't really know what we're going to do. I guess we'll just eat soup. And like, yeah, like, are we going to be fine? Yeah, we'll be fine. Are we going to get by? Yeah, we're going to get by. They can't leave all these highways closed forever. Like they're slowly going to get them open. Things are slowly going to come back. But are you going to be able to go buy produce over the next week? My guess is no. right now. Because as soon as that truckload of produce comes in, it'll be gone. As soon as the next one comes in, it'll be gone. Until we can sustain that consistent supply chain that we're used to. So why am I posting this hopefully in the summer or autumn of 2022? Again, it's currently November 2021. Because now is the time you need to be actually building a pantry. When the farmers markets have more food than they know what to do with. The farmer I go to, she actually had a really rough year because there were forest fires that kept a lot of her patrons away. And just with COVID and what have you, a lot of our tourism was depleted, and she relies on a lot of tourism for her business. So she had like bins, we're talking like 4 foot by 4 foot, 2 foot deep bins full of tomatoes that were going rotten because there just was no one to buy them. And so she was offloading them for like 50 cents a pound, like, come get them, like they're rotting. And so like, go get them for 50 cents a pound and can them. And you know, when we're talking 50 cents a pound, like this was a while ago I did this, so I don't remember the math on this one, but like we're talking like 50, 75 cents for a jar of tomatoes. And you might look at that and go, oh yeah, I can go to my grocery store and get a can of tomatoes anytime I want. Can you? I didn't think we would be in this situation right now, flooding in November. And the thing is we're on the brink of winter. It actually snowed the last couple of days. So what happens when all that flood water freezes and makes matters even worse? Like, you know, the governments are saying don't panic, don't hoard, don't go buy more than you need. And like, yeah, I agree with that. But the thing is like, you shouldn't have to be hoarding groceries right now. You shouldn't have to be emptying the grocery shelves, because we should be in the mentality where we actually reap when the harvest is there, so that we have a harvest when it's not there. And I think this is going to become more and more common for us and more of a common way of life. So like, I don't know why I'm playing with this lid and it's really stuck. Actually, as a side note, sometimes it's good to check your seals. If you use rings all the time and they're on there really, really tight, sometimes it can create a false seal. So you should actually like loosen your rings every now and again. I'm like stress fidgeting my jar of tomatoes over here. Side note. Another example. This is pressure canning. A lot of people may not be into pressure canning. You can water bath tomatoes, which is easy. Squash. I was just talking about squash this week with my coworkers. There's still so much squash in our region for sale right now, and no one's buying it because they don't know how to eat it, which is just absurd to me. How do we not know how to eat squash? Again, you know, just checking seals here. And like, I got this squash, actually, this is 2020. I didn't even do this year. This is last year's. At the end of the season, I got like bags of squash, like, I don't know, like 10-pound bag of squash for $5. And because again, end of the season, they're going to rot soon. They have to get rid of them. And so I got like all of this squash here. I don't even know. And some of them we've even used, like a lot of it we've used. We're talking $20 worth of squash sitting here. And like, I just can't press enough that you do have to reap when the harvest is there. Because right now our region is like completely panicking, and people who let their their own pantry shelves run dry are like just devastated at the moment. So you might look at my shelves behind me and get really overwhelmed and be like, I don't know how to do that. That looks really complicated. You know, my grandma canned. I don't know how to can. I have videos that teach you how to can. I do have videos on that. There are amazing channels out there that teach you how to can. Gilbrook Farms is an amazing channel. I actually learned how to pressure can off her channel. Simply Living Alaska, you guys are amazing. I love your channel. I learned how to make fireweed jelly from you guys. I also learned how to make rosehip sauce from you guys, okay? So like, we're learning from each other. We're doing it here. So these are really amazing channels that can teach you how to do this. Like, I don't like it when people use the excuse, oh, I don't know how, because I used to use that excuse. And then when I found out I could learn how, it's not an excuse. An even easier way to food preserve, 1 second, I have to go run and get it. Okay, I'm back. I was in the kitchen. I didn't actually have it here. And if you don't know how to do any of this, that's fine, whatever. Like, if you don't want to learn how to do any of it, okay, that's your prerogative. But like, There is a dead easy way to food preserve, and anyone can do it. You don't have an excuse. Dehydrating. This is dehydrated mushrooms. You literally cut them up, put them on a tray, put them in your dehydrator, leave it overnight, and then in the morning it's done. Okay, like how easy is that? This is actually, I don't even remember. I think this was either this spring or last winter. So the grocery store will often sell like imperfect vegetables, okay? And they sell them at a discount. So what would normally be like, I don't know, a container of mushrooms that big here is like $5. We're talking double the size for $5 because it's, imperfect and people don't like their food to look imperfect, which blows my mind. So I would buy those and then just dehydrate them. These dehydrated mushrooms will last I think it's 3 to 5 years is the shelf life for dehydration. We actually do store dehydrated food in Mylar bags, but when I want food accessible to use, I put them in mason jars. So I've actually put some of our dehydrated food in mason jars right now in case we can't get produce for the next few weeks. And you might look at this and go, oh, that looks gross. I eat dehydrated apples as a snack, but I'm not going to eat dehydrated mushrooms as a snack. Of course you're not. What you're going to do is you're going to use these like a giant spice jar, okay? You're going to open it up. You're going to sprinkle some mushrooms into your sauce or whatever it is you're making, your casserole, whatever. Then you're going to tighten it back up and put it back on your shelf, and then you're going to saute those mushrooms up, and they will rehydrate in the oil or the water or the sauce or whatever it is you're cooking, and then you're going to eat it like you would any other mushroom. These are onions, okay? This is probably the equivalent of like 5 onions. I'm not even joking, because it dehydrates down so small that it'll fit in a jar like this. You might also see right there, there's like a little green and white tag. That's an oxygen absorber. So when you store your dehydrated food, you do want an oxygen absorber in it so that it pulls the oxygen out. And that's kind of what can carry bacteria is oxygen, moisture, that sort of thing. So those little absorbers take that out, okay? Onions. This one's gonna blow your mind. Are you ready? This one's my favorite. Peppers. These are peppers. These are bell peppers. Do you want to know how many peppers are in here? Can you even guess? Probably 10 pounds. I'm not even kidding. Like 10 pounds of fresh peppers are in here. And again, when did I buy them? I bought these in the summer. They were imperfect. I bought them straight from my farmer. And do you know what? It was like, I think peppers at the time were selling like $8 for 6 peppers. I would buy like 12 to 15 peppers and it was like $2.50 because they're imperfect. You just cut off the bits that are not perfect and you dehydrate the rest. We're talking like 10 pounds of fresh peppers here. And they are all dehydrated, ready to go in this jar. Again, when you're ready to use them, unscrew it, shake it in like a giant spice shaker, put your lid back on, away you go. The other thing too is when you're dehydrated, like you literally like a quarter cup of this is going to be equivalent to like 2 whole peppers. So you can just put a quarter cup in, dump it, keep going, right? This is going to last a long time because it dehydrates so small. I literally have probably, I don't know, I won't go through my whole inventory right now. I probably have 15 different types of produce like dehydrated. Everything from fruits, like we're talking like cherries and peaches and pears and apples that are all dehydrated, to like so many vegetables I can't even recall them all right now. I've dehydrated corn and ginger and garlic and beans. I've also dehydrated cauliflower. Cauliflower is a huge one. You can literally fit 3 heads of cauliflower into a jar like this when it's dehydrated, and then just keep it on your shelf. It's shelf stable, okay? We're talking like it doesn't need to be refrigerated, doesn't rely on electricity. So if your power goes out, you're not going to lose your food. And it's so invaluable. This video is maybe getting a little too long right now and I may be getting a little too passionate, but like, I just can't stress enough how important this is. Potatoes. I dehydrated 40 pounds of potatoes this year. The box was actually 50 pounds, but I kept some fresh for us because we like baked potatoes and stuff too. But like, I dehydrated 40 pounds of potatoes and I'm so glad I did because you can't find a bag of potatoes in a 50-mile radius right now. Like, we need to figure this out, guys. Like, this is not good. I'll tone down the exaggeration. I apologize. But I don't know. I'm just trying to stress the fact that, like, I'm going to post this in the summer, okay? The harvest is there. The harvest is ready. Go get it. Go talk to your local farmers about buying bulk, about buying when it's cheaper. Follow your local farmer on Instagram. That's how I find out about sales, is I literally follow their Instagram. And then they post, you know, like tomatoes, you know, we need to get rid of them. 50 cents a pound. Come get them. And then I go get them. And then I spend the weekend canning them. Okay, so like we're talking cost savings. We're talking food when there's no food. And we're talking the satisfaction of doing it ourselves. And look how pretty this background is, okay? Like, this is gorgeous here, all this amazing food. Don't even get me started on jams, okay? Those are all jams back there. So good. And if that's too much work for you, pressure canning, water bath canning, all of that, it doesn't get any easier than dehydrating, okay, you guys? You can get a dehydrator on Amazon for like $200. And the amount of produce that thing will preserve for you is going to pay itself off like in one season. Like in a season, it'll pay itself off. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah, you might go, I don't have the time for that. But, you know, if you ask literally anyone in our city right now if they would be appreciative of a well-stocked, preserved pantry right now, they're going to say yes, right? So take advantage of it. Get out there. All the major highways, again, I'll reiterate, all the major highways leading into our region are completely shut down right now. We have 0 semi-trucks coming into our region. Our 2 rail lines wiped out. We have no trains delivering anything. They keep telling us not to panic. They keep telling us they're working on a workaround, and I believe that. And like, I'm not panicking, but at the same time, there are thousands, tens of thousands in our region that are panicking. And if we had the foresight and, you know, the work ethic to take advantage of the harvest when it was there and preserve it, there would be no need to panic. So that's my why. That's why I do this. And I'm happy I did. And you know what? If there was no disaster right now, if, you know, we had trucks and grocery stores flowing in and out with no worry, this is still a major cost saver for my family. And there's no added preservatives in here, okay? These aren't filled to the brim with sugar. Like, this is a healthier way to eat produce, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper. So even if there wasn't a disaster, this is worthwhile to me. But this just exploded in personal value now that our grocery stores are literally empty, okay? Like, it's happening. So when people ask me, why do you do that? Why bother? You know, you can just go to the grocery store and buy a can of peaches if you want. This is why I do it, guys, because we don't know. We don't know what disasters are out there, you know, like weather patterns are getting worse and we are susceptible to a lot. And this is worth it to me, you know. This right here, this is probably like $70 worth of peppers if I were to buy them in the grocery store. And I think this whole thing cost me like $10. So start thinking diversely, okay? Let's take advantage of the harvest while it's there. It's there right now. It's there right now. And you can pack it away for your family like a squirrel come the winter or come a time when people are panicking and emptying your grocery shelves. All right, that's my why. Sorry it got a bit lengthy. Clearly this is something I'm passionate about. Clearly I want more people to be passionate about this because I would much rather see produce on people's shelves, preserved and ready to eat, than rotting in a farmer's field. And if you need to know how to can, if you need to know how to dehydrate, I have videos about that. Like I said, there's also some other amazing channels out there. Educate yourself, learn how to do this. It's not hard, it just takes some time. And the time is well worth it if you find yourself in a position like we're in right now. All right, take care and don't be scared. Just be prepared. Did that rhyme? That was super cheesy. I will never say that again. All right, take care, you guys.